What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Bravely Default 2, why I'm absolutely in love with this game, and why I think it's going to be better than Octopath Traveler when it's all said and done. So in terms of the story, graphics, presentation, music, all of that stuff in this game is really good. I've heard people talk about the graphics and presentation in terms of the art style and the chibi look of the characters, and while it can be a bit jarring or off-putting for some at the beginning, trust me, as you play and you learn about the characters and their backgrounds and the voice acting, it will definitely grow on you with the clay type of storybook animation and the slick presentation in the game and the well put together story. All of it creates an atmosphere that's just really inviting and will make you smile as you continue to play. It totally reminds me of what Bravely Default did in that first game, and the characters are already voiced and sounding great. So I would say just give it a try, because I do feel that the total presentation in terms of what they do just has a more heartwarming and I would just say more impactful narrative than what we saw in Octopath Traveler, and I think the overall package is already showing that it's going to be better than what that game offered when it comes to all of that. Now, of course, graphics, that's going to be 16-bit RPG, right? 16-bit style with the HD 2D. You can't really compare the styles, but I'm just talking about what they do for their respective games and how it drives things going forward with everything when it comes to the music, presentation, story, and all of that. There's just a more heartwarming and just more of a great feel in terms of how the story is going to progress with Bravely Default 2 to me over Octopath Traveler, just from playing that demo and seeing the voice acting and all of that. Let's talk about the most important thing here, and that is the gameplay, because I did 100% the demo. I beat everything that you can do. I maxed out all the different jobs in the game, and I also beat the asterisk boss in addition to the super boss as well. I think I put about 8 hours or so to kind of get through everything, and man, there's some tough stuff, but the gameplay in this game is what makes Bravely Default so good. Bravely Default 2, for some who have played Octopath, are probably thinking, okay, well, yeah, I know a little bit about it. You have the whole system to where you can build up your battle points and do multiple attacks, but Octopath Traveler came after Bravely Default. There was Bravely Default 1, which has that system, but Octopath Traveler is kind of like a light version of Bravely Default 2's or Bravely Default system, because in this game, you have access to way more jobs than you had access to in Octopath Traveler, and you have way more customization over those jobs in terms of what you can do, because not only can you have a main job, but then you can also have at all times a sub job active, and you can mix and match in terms of picking up different abilities, passive abilities that you can put on your character, even if you're not using that job anymore. So really what it creates an atmosphere to where you can pick your main class, you have access to all of those abilities, you can pick your subclass, have access to those abilities, and then, like, let's say there's like a third class that you've already learned and mastered and maxed out with your job, you can mix and match certain abilities from that class to create your own custom, like, super warrior for each one, especially if you want to get through some of the tougher battles in there. So I think that's what separates it from Octopath Traveler, where you can have your main class and then you kind of have your subclass that you can do, and then like the special ones, but only one person can use that at a time. It just feels like a lighter version with less control, whereas Bravely Default feels like you have limitless possibilities and endless different ways that you can mix and match and customize your characters, and you don't have to worry about having 8 characters in your party with 4 of them never getting experience because they're at the tavern while you're out with your other 4 characters leveling and building up. So it builds a sense of like, man, do I really have to go back and forth between these characters? I probably should just pick the 4 characters that I want to use, then stick with them instead of going back and forth, whereas you don't have to worry about that at all. And I think that that's what helps build the character in this game. And of course it makes sense because of the amount of jobs that you have, and there's just so many. You can have the black mage, you can have a white mage, you can have a monk, you can have freelance, which is just the default class, and all of them have their own specialties in terms of what weapons they can use and how good they can use them. And on top of that, you can dual wield, you can single wield, you can have the option to go no weapons at all, get some buffs from the monk class, more critical hit power. There's just so many ways to mix and match and put your character together. It really kind of puts to shame at times what Octopath Traveler did, because it really does feel like a light version of a far more complex system. Like, they broke off some of it, but in Bravely Default 2, they make it to where it's very easy and very, I would just say, inviting to kind of switch classes, see what you can do, play around with it, learn, because you learn and you get experience quickly to learn all the different classes. So you're constantly learning new skills and abilities, changing your classes, and you can find the one that fits best for you. But it all comes together with the main class and also the subclass. So to me, it just works better. It feels great to play. The fact that you can speed up the battle system to where you can get through them quicker, multiple hits per each action that you choose, it just creates a gameplay feel that's just unlike any other RPG out there, and it really is really cool and fun. And one of the best things about this game is when they put that all together, right? When I'm talking about everything that I've discussed here, plus the combat, it really creates a awesome experience, and the characters just do feel very, very dynamic, especially when you're trying to fight some of the tougher enemies in the game. And some people have been having some trouble with that, right, in terms of the different characters, but I think that having a vulnerability system, right, to where whenever you exploit a weakness of a character, it gets you extra damage and everything, which has been done before. Octopath does it, Bravely Default does it, the first one, Bravely Second, and now Bravely Default 2. But there's something about this one, when you hit them with that examine, you have the freelance class, and then you can kind of see how much they have, see what they're weak to, and then exploit them with that. It's just so good in this game because of the 4-character standard, because any character can kind of have like magic, right? Any character can kind of do different things where you're not completely locked into it, and you can switch pretty much at will once you're done in the battle, man. It is fantastic. I'm really enjoying that. So this demo that came out, it's not really part of the main game. It's just kind of like a small slice, so you can kind of see how the game is, experience with different things in there, kind of see what you like, and just get to know the game more. It's a little bit harder because some people, I did see that they were complaining that the game was a bit too hard, but it is a little bit harder than what you're probably going to play in the main game. But there will definitely be big bad super bosses that are going to test your abilities. So this game set for 2020. We don't have an actual release date quite yet. What they're going to do with this demo is that they're going to let us play it for some odd weeks or months or whatever the case is, and then they're going to collect feedback from us, which they did in the original Bravely Default and also in Octopath Traveler. We give them that feedback, and then they release another demo. And in that demo, that one usually transfers over to the main game, and then they also implement all sorts of fixes based on our recommendations, and they make the game a lot better. Like I said, they did this before with really Octopath Traveler. They really made so many great changes to that, and they actually released an update video letting us know, like, this is what we did from the demo to the new build of the game, because Bravely Default 2, this demo that we're playing, is an old build of the game. So it's already seeming really good, right, with this old build before they even put in any of the new things. So I can't wait to see what they offer us with the next demo, if they're going to do it, which I think they will. The next demo and transfers over, give us a nice little bonus when we do transfer. It is very exciting just because these guys have really outdone themselves this time, at least. I'm looking forward to this more so than I've looked forward to really any other Bravely game or Octopath Team Asano game. This one is, I think, the one that's really going to break into maybe even that 90 score Metacritic. But I really do think this game is going to be the best one out of all of them, and better than Octopath Traveler, which to me, that makes sense. Octopath Traveler came out 2 years ago, right? You want to one-up what you did before. You always want to strive to get better. So I don't think it's crazy to say that the new game here in 2020 with Bravely Default 2 is going to be better than their 2018 outing, especially when that was built off of what they did with Bravely Default, and that is a light version of what Bravely Default offers in terms of combat options and flexibility. This one has a lot more for us, so I think it's going to be pretty good. So what are you guys' thoughts when it comes to the Bravely Default 2 demo? Have you played it yet? Are you struggling with some of the combat? Are you liking it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the link in the description. We've got Twitter. Want to give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all the latest gaming news and information. Also make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.